to keep it respectable. I don't want it near school. I don't want it sold to children. That's an infamy. In my city, we would keep the traffic in the dark, people, the colors. They're animals anyway, so let them be sold. So let them be sold. So let them be sold. So let them be sold.
Your days of fighting for the so-called greater good are over. This is our chance to control the truth, the concepts of right and wrong for everyone for centuries to come. You're fighting to save an ideal that doesn't exist. Never did. You need to pick a side.
I include in the record a video presentation of the violence of January 6th.
Mike Pence is going to have to come through for us, and if he doesn't, that will be a sad day for our country. Because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength, and you have to be strong.
We're going to give riot warnings as soon as the outriders here. We're going to give riot warnings. We're going to try and get compliance, but this is now effectively a riot.
49 hours declaring it a riot.
5 to 50 be advised, Capitol Police 1 advised they're trying to breach into the Capitol.
You know, the idiocy of racism is that none of us got to pick our color or our race when we were born. We didn't get to pick to be black, white, red, yellow, purple, or even green. We just are what we are. We had no choice in our parents, our height, our size, or our shape. We had no choice in our race or its perceived social status in life. We just woke up from childhood one day and realized in adulthood, here we are. And so it's with that thought in mind that I began to ponder the sheer idiocy of racism, and not just the idiocy of racism, but the idiocy of white power and white supremacy. If no human being, living or dead, ever got the chance to pick their race, how could anybody be considered supreme, since we all come out relatively predetermined in that sense? Who, what, when, where, and how did the concept of white supremacy emerge? Now let's not waste time on what we already know. History books, white Jesus, European conquest, slavery, we've all heard it all before. But why, now, here, in the 21st century, does the word, the mere phrase, white supremacy, still exist? Even more, how does our acknowledgement of that word or that phrase, how does that perpetuate its continued existence? Why do we even still tolerate it in the human lexicon? Think about it. Does acknowledging it embolden its believers and thereby validate its completely erroneous and deeply malicious ideas? If we kill the word, the phrase, can we also kill the concept and its messenger? There is no such thing as white supremacy. There never was, it never existed, and there never will be white supremacy. It was just a fallacy created in an abject ignorance, fantasized in an obscene Hollywood movie script, contrary to all commonly held ideals of common sense and human decency. The concept itself is antithetical to the reality that all men and women are equally valued in the eyes of their creator. And yet somehow we continue to give relevance and social consensus to white supremacy's existence. There is no such reality of white supremacy. Once again, there never was and there never will be, except maybe in our minds. And listen, don't get me wrong, history is replete with heinous acts of oppression and conquest in the pursuit of white supremacist agendas. But if the N-word is now demonized as politically incorrect in the social melting pot of civilized society, then the term white supremacy should also follow that same fate. It seems by now that we can all agree, and it's widely accepted by all scholarly circles, that all races from all continents throughout history have each contributed to the advancement and the universal well-being of all mankind. None of us are supreme. None of us are superior. And most often, it is the least of us who manifest the greatest shifts in elevated human progress and consciousness. So let's ban the word white supremacy from the global lexicon. Let's all come together and realize that nothing melts the ingredients of this global melting pot like a massive disaster and the grief that follows. This episode goes out to those suffering from the disaster of Hurricane Ian in Florida and throughout the East Coast, and to those suffering in the Ukraine in their struggles against oppression and tyranny. We feel your pain and your struggle. Stay Ukraine strong. This is Richard Karr, Old Player New Game. Please be sure to like, to subscribe, and if worthy, to share this video. And we'd love your support by checking out our merch on Etsy at Rich Life Swag. Until next time, talk back soon, stay well, and stay tuned.